unions traditionally are involved or concerned about the well-being of workers, but often have a reputation of being concerned with collective agreements and arbitration and conflict with employers. And we saw this as a way to take a fresh view and look at how we can be more relevant in terms of addressing today's workplace concerns. As a union, we thought there might be some reticence on the part of employers to have us engaged in their workplace in this manner, but that was not the case at all. We've been extremely well received. There's been a high degree of recognition and not just recognition, but acceptance that we do have some common goals, which is to protect not only the physical health and safety of workers, but the psychological health and safety of workers. Employers are seeing this, and they are really looking for any resources or tools to help their workplaces. We look at workplace bullying as the single most important workplace issue, because under that umbrella of bullying, you get various forms of workplace mistreatment that offend, humiliate, and intimidate, and affect mental health. We could have broadened the scope to look at, say, human rights concerns, discrimination, respectful workplaces, but we had employers contacting us to say, you know, we ran a respectful workplace initiative and we didn't get the results that we had hoped for. We don't know exactly why, but you know, people continue to treat one another badly at work. So we maintained a very specific focus because if you can't name a problem, you can't address it. The opportunity to identify when it is bullying behavior that's harmful versus an interpersonal conflict that can be remedied between individuals is another feature. The recognition on the part of supervisors and managers that they need more specific skills and resources to address concerns as they arise. Oftentimes, I've been called in because an employer looked at a situation as an interpersonal conflict and said, well, these are adults and they can resolve this themselves. But in fact, they couldn't resolve it themselves. And it spread throughout the organization. We provide workplace education. We will go to any employer who requests us, whether they're our union or non-union. But when we go to an employer, we really want everybody in the room, whether they are our members or non-union or other union or supervisors and managers, because we want a consistent message across the board. And we want to leave, it's what happens after we leave. We provide education, we provide some resources and tools, but the encouragement is, what are you going to do once we've delivered our educational piece? A large element of the education that we do is self-reflection. We provide some checklists, some tools for people to think about, you know, how do I actually show up at work? We wanted people to have a capacity to think about what can I do in terms of my own self-care. My advice for other organizations, and particularly for other unions, is we do need to be inclusive. It's not a gender issue, an employment sector issue, a generational issue. It's across the board, and we do need to be much more inclusive and also look at a restorative approach in workplaces. It's not enough just to have sanctions or progressive discipline without that ability to integrate the people who've been harmed and the people who've done the harm, because most of us will spend more of our working lives in our workplaces than anywhere else, than we'll spend with our family. And at the same time, those relationships are limited, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 3 to 11, whatever the shift is. So unlike in our families where there's a continuum of time where you can repair the harm, in workplaces, particularly if you're scheduled and you don't work with somebody for a couple of weeks and you've had some kind of a conflict or a situation arise, it can be much more difficult to have that self-reflection and do that repair to the relationship.